Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Jerry. Little. I was gonna say it's Alfred Hitchcock, wasn't it? Yeah. Very nice. Don't. Oh, okay. All right. That's fantastic. So we're gonna have some fun musically today. I mean, some of you are having fun already, so that's good. I'm glad to see that. Please rise. We're gonna get some singing going. We're gonna sing "I Release and I Let Go." And welcome to Unity of Orange County. I don't think I said that. So welcome in, everybody. It's nice to have you here. Here we go. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. And let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Very nice, everybody. You may be seated, and I'd like to welcome Tina to the platform.
I'm buzzing along, we're busy bees here at Unity of Orange County. Well, last night I had my crown on because I was the crown bee, the bee queen. But there are other bee queens here, so I just had to come with just my little plain outfit on. So good morning, everybody. So nice to have you here today at Unity of Orange County. And before we get started, we always like to start with our prayer for our church. So together, and let's say it like we mean it. We pray, believe, and affirm continued growth and prosperity for Unity of Orange County with an abundance to spare and share. With grateful hearts, we give thanks for answered prayer, and so it is. Amen. And our vision statement, centered in divine love, we joyfully co-create a world that works for all. And our mission statement, to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of those people that helped make this service possible. And I'd like to start with our music team. Bill on keyboard. Thank you, Bill. Jerry on drums. Awesome. And we have Tom doing audio and vocals. He's a busy guy, too. And we have Mark on camera, and John is streaming. Today, our Unity greeters were Sally and Dorothy, also known as Sandy. Sandy, you do a great job as Dorothy. We have a little bit of a hodgepodge today for hospitality because we had several people donating, which was really nice. We have cupcakes from the Mieslands. Thank you for donating. And Reverend Arlene, thank you. and myself. I brought cupcakes too, so a lot of cupcakes. Take some home with you, please. And today we are going to have the daily word and meditation read by Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie, as always. And Reverend Arlene will be giving us our message today. Thank you, Reverend Arlene. Today, after the service, there will be a meeting for men who are interested in a men's group here at Unity of Orange County, and George is going to be the facilitator for that. And they're going to be meeting over here about 11:30, so please be sure, men, to be there. This is a great opportunity for you to get to know each other, which sometimes is a little difficult for men. I don't know why. They're not like us girls. On Sunday, November the 6th, we will have a town hall meeting, and everyone is invited, and I really encourage you to attend. We will be going through our financials, for one, and we will also be talking about what is coming up for the balance of the year. We have some fun things that we'll be going through and having, and then what are we going to look forward to for next year? And what do you want to see in the coming years? So please, everyone, be here. Also on November the 6th is Jacket Donation Day. And if you have a jacket that you're not wearing any longer, please bring it to here. Excuse me, that doesn't make any sense. Please bring it here on the 6th. And we are going to be donating them to Orange County Homeless, and that's a great organization, so we'll be giving them to those people. And please, only on the 6th. We don't have any place here to store anything, so just on the 6th. On Sunday, November the 13th, we will be having a Volunteer Appreciation Day, and volunteers are the heart of this community, so let's help celebrate all of them. Mark your calendars for December the 3rd from 4 to 8 as we celebrate the holiday season with our Unity of OC Christmas party. And more information will follow, but put that on your calendar, December the 3rd. The Sunday study group will be studying the book Before You Think Another Thought, and will be hosted by Diane and myself, and it will be held for 3 Sundays from 11:30 to 12:30, and it will run from the 13th of November, November 20th, and December the 4th. It's a real easy book, but it's really an interesting book. Before You Think Another Thought. Are you looking for a way to serve the Unity of Orange County? Well, we are now looking for Sunday angels, and Sunday angels are the people who are willing to help set up and also tear down after service. So please see Amy or any of our Unity board members if you are interested in helping, or if you just have a little extra time at the end of service, please just jump in and help out. We have to tear down tables, put things away, get this set back up again. It does take many hands. So please be there. Okay. So if you're looking for prayer or need prayer, please email to uocpray@gmail.com, and we will be sure that your prayers are put in the prayer box and sent to Unity of OC. So for a full listing of all of our upcoming activities, please go to our website at unityoforangecounty.org to our calendar. And before I forget, I see Amy, and she is looking for greeters and for hospitality. So please be sure to stop in and see her as well. All right. Thank you very much.
So how many of you have seen The Nightmare Before Christmas? Are familiar with it? Okay. So This is a stop animation movie that was made back in the 90s, and it's a little bit of a dark take on Christmas, basically. And in the movie, you have a character who's a skeleton. His name is Jack, and he is the Pumpkin King. He's the king of Halloween, and he has some dissatisfaction with that mask, which is what we're talking about today, that he's been wearing. And he's looking for something, maybe a different mask to try on. Maybe he's looking for a deeper truth. But in the course of the movie, if you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. He discovers Christmas Town. And so you have a blending of Halloween and Christmas throughout the rest of the movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. This is Jack's song as he's exploring his feelings, maybe for the first time. Take two. I don't know why I'm moving. There are few who deny at what I do I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek. With a wave of my hand and a well-placed moan, I've swept the very bravest off their feet. Yet year after year, it's the same routine. And I grow so weary of the sound of screams. And I, Jack, the Pumpkin King, have grown so tired of the same old thing. Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness began to grow. There's something out there far from my home, a longing that I've never known. I'm a master of fright and a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. And since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations. No animal nor man can scream like I can with the fury of my recitations. Yet who here could ever understand that the Pumpkin King with the skeleton grin would tire of his crown? If they only understood, he'd give it all up if he only could. Oh, there's an empty place in my bones that calls out for something unknown. The fame and praise come year after year does nothing for these empty tears. Thank you, guys. Having some fun for Halloween today. All right, it is time to get comfortable in your chairs, feet flat on the floor if that's okay for your body. We're going to sing together, Blessing to the World. Everything you sing is a prayer. It's an incantation. So think about that as you hear the words. The first one is for you. So hear this and know this. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. Now, having heard it, take it inside for yourself, the I am. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. Now expand to include everyone. We are We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world, a blessing to the world. I'd like to invite Stephanie to the platform.
Good morning, everyone. Today's daily word is protection. If I begin to feel unsafe in any situation, I remember that right where I am, God is. Breathing out, I release tension. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Sorry, I started in the middle. Well, I'm going to start over. Okay, so God is here. I am safe. Once in a while, I enjoy doing things that frighten me. Sharing ghost stories around the campfire, watching a spooky movie, even savoring the uneasy feeling just before thundering down the first hill of a roller coaster. All these things can feel scary, even though I know I am in no real danger. Here's where we start. If I begin to feel unsafe in any situation, I remember that right where I am, God is. Breathing out, I release tension. My body relaxes. Fearful thoughts begin to dissolve. Breathing in, I think more clearly. Slowly, I regained renewed strength and peace of mind. My confidence returns as I remember that nothing in the world can prevail against the strength, the wisdom, and the love of God. And from Psalm 23, verse 4, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And we sing as the box comes forward.
Please join us in singing Our Thoughts Are Prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Father, Mother, God, we thank you for these prayers. We know that you are God, and you have answered them already. We hold them in our hearts and our minds, and any ones that we hold that we haven't yet spoken, we know that you will hear, you will answer. And so we send these prayers off to you lovingly, knowing that they are already made manifest. In your name we pray, Amen, Aho, and so it is. So, let's get ourselves comfortable and put our feet flat on the floor. In Exodus, God says to Moses, I am that I am. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent you unto you. I am. I am is the name of God. I am. So when you say I am, you're declaring the name of God. So beware. Make sure that what you claim is worthy. I am love. I am strong. I am kind. I am worthy. I am enough. I am abundant. Breathe that in. You can feel sad. You can feel sorry, but that is not what you are. You are. Breathing in and breathing out the name of God. I am. I am all that I am. I am. Breathing in, I am. Releasing, I am. I am the name of God. With every breath you take, wherever you are, whatever is happening, I am. I am. I am. Gently, gently, gently. Bring yourself back into this moment and this time, knowing that you are all that you dream of being because God dreams it for you. Namaste, my dears. Amen. And so it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Bill. Thank you all. So you can tell there are some of us that really like Halloween, and then there are others who are like, what are they doing? So, I always loved Halloween. I have to tell you, when I was young, I just thought I should do something on stage. This is really funny. So I took tap dance lessons that lasted 2 weeks. I took ballet, that lasted a week. But then I took drama, and it was like, oh, I get to put on costumes, and I get to go up on stage. And the thing is, I get to be someone else. When you think about it, it's so much fun sometimes being someone else. And I had these great thoughts. I was going to be, on stage, famous actress and all of that. And obviously that didn't happen. But it was years later, and Christopher said to me, he said, that was your dream when you were a kid, and look what you do. You're on stage with a mic in front of people. Not what I was planning on, but anyway. So I love Halloween. I love any excuse I can do to just be a little bit different than who I am. I think it's fun. I think it's a natural thing that, that's why children love to play dress up, right? When you're young, you just go in your mother's closet, your father's closet, you get whatever clothes, you make up whatever outfits. It's just fun. And so I like to dress up for Halloween, obviously. But so the thing is, what is Halloween? I did a little research because it's a strange holiday. It's not like Christmas. Everyone knows what Christmas is. Everyone knows what Easter is, Valentine's Day. But, Halloween, like, why do we dress up in costume? Why do we have pumpkins? Why do we do any of this? So it actually is not like demon worship like people think and all of that. It actually comes from the Catholic Church, believe it or not. And it started as All Hallows Eve and November 1st, which was an observance of the saints. But in the 5th century in Celtic Ireland, summer officially ended on October 31st, and the holiday was called Samhain, Halloween, and it was the new year. So I want to tell you a little ghost story. So one story says that on that day, the disembodied spirits of all those who had died throughout the preceding year would come back in search of living bodies to possess for the next year. It was believed it was to be their only hope of an afterlife. So the Celts believed all laws of space and time were suspended during this time, allowing the spirit world to intermingle with the living. Naturally, the still living did not want to be possessed. So on the night of October 31st, villagers would extinguish all the fires in their homes to make them cold and undesirable, and then they would dress up in all manner of ghoulish costumes and noisily parade around the neighborhood, being as destructive as possible in order to frighten away the spirits looking for bodies to possess. So they made themselves look unattractive. And then years later, the Romans adopted the practice as their own and started changing it. And then Halloween came to America in the 1840s by the Irish immigrants who brought in a lot of that Celtic stuff. And one of the favorite pranks in New England was tipping over outhouses and gates and stuff. So on November 2nd, All Souls Day, early Christians would walk from village to village begging for soul cakes made out of square pieces of bread and currants. And this is where the trick-or-treating comes from. So the more soul cakes the beggars would receive, the more prayers they would promise to say on behalf of the dead relatives of the donors. So the idea was to go around and collect as many of these soul cakes. So where does the jack-o'-lantern come from? I just like to look up this stuff. I think it's in. So it also came from Irish folklore, and as the tale is told, a man named Jack, who was notorious as a drunk and a trickster, tricked Satan into climbing a tree. Jack then carved an image of a cross in the tree's trunk, trapping the devil up in the tree. and Jack made a deal with the devil that he would never tempt him again if he let him come down from the tree. So according to the folktale, after Jack died, he was denied entrance into heaven because of his evil ways, but he was also denied access to hell because he tricked the devil. Instead, the devil gave him a single ember to light his way through the frigid darkness, and the ember was placed inside a hollowed-out turnip to keep it glowing. So when the Irish came here to make their jack-o'-lanterns, they didn't find turnips, but they had a lot of pumpkins. So they used pumpkins instead of turnips. So people think it grew out of evil things, but it didn't. But what interests me about Halloween is this whole idea of dressing up because, we all wear masks. Think about it. We all wear masks. We have these different personalities that we show to the world depending on where we are and what we're doing. So Carl Jung, who's one of the most famous psychologists, talked about what he called the persona. And the persona is our public image. It is what we put on when we go out in the world. And actually, the word persona comes from a Latin word that means mask. So when we're out in the world, we're wearing a mask very often. Whatever it is that we think others expect of us, that's our persona, and we put it out. It's our public image. I joke around because my other job, I work in a store, and we are called cast, and our uniforms are called costumes. And it is. I always tell people, I say, when I'm doing that, it's like I have this mask, and I'm this person, and it's just who I am. So Emily Cady, who is an old Unity writer, she talked about the difference between personality and individuality. So personality is that part of us that is who we are with our friends, our persona, that mask that we put on, that person that we are with people. And it's that person that can change. Our personality can change. At different times in our life, our personality could be different. But Emily Cady said there is our individuality. And our individuality is God within us. And our individuality never changes because that is spirit. And who we are in our core never changes. We are born with spirit, we die as spirit, we live and breathe as spirit, but we put on this persona because sometimes we don't want to show people that. Have you ever been, in a group of people, that's all you have to do is start talking about spirituality and God within and all of this, and they kind of like, well, we'll see you. No one wants to talk about anything like that. They want to talk about fun stuff. They want to talk about vacations. They want to talk about all this, and this is our personality, and this is what we put out to the world. But this spirit part of us is really important. And it's important that we remember that because sometimes when we talk about that to other people, they make fun of us. So I love Charlie Brown. I don't know if anyone else does, but I think the Charlie Brown characters are so wise. Charles Schulz was an amazing person. And so one of the cartoons is Charlie Brown. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. How many people have seen it? It's a Great Pumpkin. Yeah, it's great. So, the kids all get their costumes on. And, of course, Charlie, he's a ghost, but he's cut out too many holes. So he looks more like Swiss cheese than a ghost because he's got all these holes in the sheet that he's got on him. And but the character I love is Linus. So Linus, he represents spirituality of the characters in Charlie Brown. So, he's small and he sucks his thumb and he carries around his blanket and everything. But he represents that child in us, that spirituality, that almost that perfection that believes even when it seems like, no one should believe. So all the kids are into Christmas, but Linus, he is waiting for the great pumpkin. He goes to the pumpkin patch and he's waiting for the great pumpkin because to him, the great pumpkin is really God. It's kind of like Santa Claus for the other kids. And so he's waiting, and the kids make fun of him. You know, what are you doing waiting for the great pumpkin? There is no great pumpkin. You're crazy. There's no great pumpkin. But Linus doesn't want to give up because that's what he believes. He truly believes in the great pumpkin. So the holiday goes over, and guess what? The great pumpkin doesn't come. Well, then the kids really make fun of Linus. You know, you waited in this pumpkin patch, and it never came. And then Linus says, you know, I'm not stupid. Just wait. He'll come next year. And that's that belief that we have in us that even when we don't see God in our life, even when it doesn't seem like God shows up in our life at the time that we want it, that belief, that individuality, that knowing that God is always there and God is within us, we know that God may not be showing up now, but God will always show up in our life. It just may be next year, or the year after, or the year after. So I love this analogy from Charlie Brown. So this is what happens to us. So we dress up in costume, we look different and all of that, but the main thing is that we know who we truly are. To thine own self be true. In the quiet of our homes, and in the quiet of our time of prayer, and in the quiet of our time of meditation, we go within and we connect to our true being, and that is God. God is within every one of us. You know, Unity's second principle says that we recognize the divinity in everyone, but we can't recognize the divinity in others when we don't see it in ourselves. And so many times people have a hard time seeing it in themselves. They're so used to wearing their masks that they show to the outside world that they forget who they truly are. And one of the advantages to meditation is it gives us a chance to go in and to connect to that person, that God within us, that individuality that is truly who we are. So no matter what we are, no matter what we do for a living, we have to remember that we are divine. You know, one of the reasons that so many people have a hard time retiring is because all their life, they are their job. You know, people say to you, well, who are you? What you do? Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a bookkeeper, I'm a doctor, I'm a secretary, I'm a nurse, you know, and we think that's who we are. And then what happens is when we give that up, then who do we become? But we have to remember we are never changing. There is a part of us that is always the same, and that is our true self. So this year for Halloween, if you dress up or you don't dress up, think a minute about the costume you wear out in the world. And ask yourself this, is the costume and the mask you present to the world the one that you want to present? You know, are you kind to everybody? Do you smile at people? Do you offer help? Or do you get angry when people don't do what you want them to do? Do you get muttered to somebody because they cut in front of you in line? Or do you yell and scream at people? I have a friend, I tell you, I love her dearly, but I hate being in the car with her. I hate being on the phone with her when she is in the car, because you're talking on the phone and constantly it is like, I'm not even going to repeat the superlatives that are coming out of her mouth all the time about everybody on the road. Everybody on the road. It doesn't matter whether she's in the city or the country, whatever. And then you have to ask yourself, is this what we want to present to the world? Is this the persona we want to show? Or do we want to show that divine within us and be that person that represents, you know, you say to people, I go to Unity, you want them to look at you and think, oh, there must be something in Unity, because these people are really nice. They're really kind. They're really generous. Not they're out there, you know, just cursing at the whole world. So you want to remember that, to allow that true nature of ourselves to come out, whether it be Halloween or any other time. So I invite you to close your eyes for a minute. And, you know, we talk all about the Christ within, the light within. But how are you in the world? Do you allow that Christ, that light within, that love that is within you to come out? Do you treat people with kindness and respect, with non-judgment? When someone is behaving less Christ-like, do you look beyond that mask that they are wearing and know that inside the spark of divinity is within them as much as it is within you? What mask do you want to show the world? What mask are you going to take out in the store, behind the wheel? Is it the same mask you wear with friends? Just like we can change our costumes on Halloween, we determine the mask that we show the world. I invite you to show a mask of love and all that comes with that. And then you truly will be who you were created to be. And for that, we are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Arlene. I definitely have a different mask when I'm driving, not going to lie. I'm kind and loving and patient, except for when I'm behind the wheel. Then all of a sudden, I am none of those things. I've often wondered why that is, but I don't know. This is a song about masks. This is a song by Billy Joel. He calls it The Stranger. Same idea. It's a mask. Well, we all have a face that we hide away forever, and we take them out and show ourselves when everyone has gone. Some are satin, some are steel, some are silk, and some are leather. They're the faces of a stranger, but we love to try them on. Well, we all fall in love, but we disregard the danger. Well, we share so many secrets, there are some we never tell. Why were you so surprised when you never saw the stranger? Did you ever let your lover see the stranger in yourself? Don't be afraid to try again. Everyone goes south every now and then. You've done it, why can't someone else? You should know by now. You've been there yourself. Once I used to believe I was such a great romancer. Then I came home to a woman that I did not recognize. When I pressed her for a reason, she refused to even answer. It was then I felt the stranger kick me right between the eyes. Well, we all fall in love, but we disregard the danger. Though we share so many secrets, there are some we never tell. Why were you so surprised that you never saw the stranger? Did you ever let your lover see the stranger in yourself? Don't be afraid to try again. Everyone goes south every now and then. Ooh, ooh. Well, you've done someone else. You should know by now, you've been there yourself. You may never understand how the stranger is inspired, but he isn't always evil, and he is not always wrong. Though you drown in good intentions, you will never quench the fire. You'll give in to your desire when the stranger comes along. Thank you, guys. A little Billy Joel from Bill over here.
Yeah. I love that song. That's one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. Love it, love it, love it. So just ask yourself that. Who's showing, the stranger or you? Okay, here at Unity, we have 5 basic principles that we believe in. And the first one is that God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. And number 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. And 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And 5, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know. I make a difference. And one way we make a difference is through giving and receiving. And so it is time for the baskets to go around. But if you have a gift to give, or if you don't have a gift to give, put your hands together and bless. And as the baskets go around, put your hand over the basket and bless the basket. We are grateful for all the gifts that we receive. So if you'll take a moment and put your hands together before the baskets go around, before the baskets go around, before the baskets go around, and affirm together our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And now as the baskets go around, I would like to welcome anybody who's here for the first time. Do we have any first-timers? We don't always look like this, so. No? All right, any second-timers? All right, I think we all deserve a blessing for Halloween. So let us bless each other together. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. All right, and we have lots of goodies in the fellowship. And remember that there's a meeting of the men's group that is forming right after the service. George, raise your hand. So George is kind of organizing it, so make sure you check on George. I think it's great. I think it's really, I'd love to see that happen. So, and then next week is our town hall meeting, and that is open for everybody, so please don't forget that. It's good to kind of find out what's going on in the church and everything like that, and we have a lot of great things happening. So now let us stand and allow that light that is in us to come out by singing "This Little Light of Mine."
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, oh let it shine. Please join hands and let's sing together the peace song and the prayer for protection. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God, and the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God, and altogether, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay.